Hi, I'm Isaac from Isaac Builds Things. I'm a third year carpentry apprentice in New Zealand, and my wife Emma and I are renovating our house at the moment. We are trying to do everything we can ourselves and just get sub-trades in where they are really needed, which means we are learning to plaster. So after a lot of research, this is our technique for the first coat on a taper join, but let me know in the comments below if we're doing anything wrong or if you have any tips or tricks on how I can improve. First up, I'm applying a thin layer of plaster in the taper join with my 150mm knife. For straight joins, we were recommended to use fiberglass tape as it's more resistant to cracking and less likely to get air bubbles underneath. So I've cut it to length, and then I'm just going to lay it on the join over half and half over the join and lightly press it into the plaster with the knife. We are using a 2-part plaster and water compound that has a 150-minute working time because we are new and very slow. This joint took me 5.5 minutes, so I'm getting quicker, but there's still a lot of room for progress. Then we're going to put a thin layer over the top and press that into the tape. Trying to make sure not letting any plaster outside the taper line, which is why after this I'm going to use my 230mm trowel and make sure that there's no plaster outside the taper, so that after this coat we don't need to sand anything. We can just scrape it off a little bit, and we don't need to sand before doing a top coat. Thanks so much for watching this video. Let me know any tips and tricks you have down below. Otherwise, I will see you next time.